Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid preview. Yes, I'll be doing even the games against teams like Cádiz, and I know, it's not the most interesting game preview ever, but it's what it is. Um, However, though, La Liga games, like we've been saying, are still important, and you still got to be winning them. And I'm not overly confident. I'm not overly confident based on what we have seen over the last couple of games. Look, I'm talking La Liga games, so forget about Barcelona, forget about Chelsea. The game earlier against Villarreal in that middle wasn't convincing. You looked at the players, couldn't care, they gave up. That is not the right mentality. And then you got Real Valladolid. Okay, we hammered them, but after all, it's Real Valladolid at home. We're going away against a team that plays Park the Bus. If there's any team in the world that we all know very, very well that plays Park the Bus football, it's Cádiz. So how are we going to break that? How are we going to change the way we play, the personnel we have on the pitch, to make sure we counter that and we go and try and get a goal? Now, Asensio started as the number 10, sort of. We don't play him a number 10, but he played in the midfield against Villarreal. Um, and we'll get on to why I think he could be another one that does so later. But let's start in goal. It's obviously Courtois. I don't see Lunin getting a chance. The defense, you got Lucas Vázquez. I think right now it's kind of a rotation between Vázquez and Carvajal. I think Vázquez will be given the La Liga games, and I think Carvajal will play the Champions League games. So Vázquez for me, I think it makes sense as well because you kind of want to rest and rotate. My centre backs, I saw something earlier yesterday, I believe, that Alaba might get rested. So look, if Alaba is rested, you've got Militao, Rudiger technically, and yeah, there's about two centre backs. You could play Nacho there, but I reckon Nacho might play left back, and I think Camavinga might get a rest as well. Because in the same news, I don't know which source it was, it did say that both Camavinga and Alaba could get the rest. So we'll see. Maybe Camavinga plays left back. Could happen. Maybe Alaba plays. It could happen as well. And then let's move on into the midfield trio. I've got Tchouaméni playing as the number 6, sit back, defend. I've got Dani Ceballos, a box-to-box midfielder, to make the midfield more balanced. And then you kind of want a more creative attacking option. I'm gonna rest both Modric and Kroos. I think it would be a bit dumb, and I think they had a bit of a knock anyway, so they're not going to play. And then Valverde, you could play him, but I've just got that feeling that in La Liga at the moment you might not want to play him, because I think La Liga opponents would have known, and they definitely known what happened between him and Baena, and maybe one of the players at Cádiz is a good friend of Baena, and he triggers Valverde as well, with things he's saying. So look, we don't know what's going to happen, and for a bit more attacking option, I will play Asensio. I think he has already done it, Ancelotti, by putting Asensio in the midfield against Villarreal. So I could see it happening again, and that will be my midfield trio: attacking, box to box, defensive, bit balanced. And then your front line, with Asensio starting, he's not going to start on the right. Valverde is going to play. I thought, why not give Rodrigo a go? I think he's the most likely option anyways if Asensio plays in the middle. And then our front line, it's going to be Vini, it's going to be Benz, without a question. Benzema getting rested, but for who? Who? If Rodrigo's going to be forced to the right, you got to be playing Benzema. Hazard is never going to play up front. Actually, he's never going to play a game, let alone play up front. And Mariano, I mean, gosh, let's not even talk about that. So that is the team. I think this team is very, very, very likely. Only changes probably Alaba does play, Kamavinga does play, but except for that, I think this is a very, very realistic lineup, and I could genuinely see it happen. I could genuinely see it happening. However, let's talk more about this game. Let's have a look at the table, shall we? So, this is how the table is looking like. I'm sorry if the the video is a bit zoomed in. That's how just my OBS is. So you might not be able to see the left or the right hand side. I think mostly the right hand side it's a bit harder to see. I don't know how I can't move it furthermore, but I'll read it out to you. Barca have 72 points, Real have 59 points. There's a 13-point gap. It's done. It's done. With 10 games to go, it's done. But second place, it's still not ours. It's still not guaranteed. 59 points for Real Madrid, 57 for Atletico Madrid. They could easily get into second. And you know what's crazy? Real Sociedad in fourth have 51. 8 points in 10 games is more likely than 13 points in 10 games for sure. So there's more chance for Sociedad to get second than us to win the league. So we could easily drop the third, maybe fourth. And I think to say that we're gonna not make it to top 4, it's a disgrace, and it's not going to happen. Villarreal have 47 points, 12 points behind. I don't see that happening personally, but second place, at least for now, it is still very, very, very dangerous. It's still not guaranteed. Atleti will want it. Simeone ball, he will want to finish above Real and get second place. So you got to be looking out. And where are Cádiz? Just to check, they are 14th. They are sort of a mid-table team, along with Sevilla, Getafe, Mallorca. But to be fair to them, like Cádiz could easily go down, couldn't they? I mean, Elche have 13 points, so let's consider Elche relegated. Espanyol have 27. Cádiz have 31. So they are 4 points off the bottom. So they are realistically a team in a relegation battle more than a mid-table team. Sevilla are in there too. I would argue Mallorca. I think Girona onwards, it's sort of mid-table, but Mallorca downwards, I would argue it's more like relegation battle. For Mallorca, 34 points to Espanyol 27, 7 points separate 12th to 19th. So that tells you quite a lot. And look, they're 14th, they're relegation battling team. They'll be fighting all they want to survive. We have to win this one. We rock up away to Cádiz. What are we going to get? It's hard to say. As a prediction, I don't know what I'm going to predict really. I don't know what to expect. Again, we've been saying this. Are we going to get the Valladolid, the Barcelona, or now even the Chelsea, Real Madrid? Or are we going to get the Villarreal, Real Madrid? Which one are we going to get? And if I'm being honest, I think it's a bit of both. So I'm going to go with a 2-or draw. I just think it's exactly the kind of game where you drop points. And let's go back to the table and then have a look at our remaining fixtures. So Real Madrid, the remaining fixtures. Here's the news on Bellingham. Quite interesting. Obviously, I may make a video about Bellingham in the upcoming weeks. But you got Cádiz, right? It's not tomorrow. It's actually technically it's tomorrow for me. You got Chelsea. You got Celta Vigo. I expect a win. Maybe a draw. I expect a win in the Copa del Rey final to win it. But you never know with Osasuna, trying to beat Real Madrid in the cup competition final. I expect a win against Getafe, and I realistically expect a win against Valencia. So that's 3 points, 6 points, 7 points, 10 points, 13 points, 16 points, 17 points. You're going to get out of next 10 games or so. Realistically, I don't have the table. But we were on 59 points. That'll be 76 points to finish the season off, which wouldn't be the worst. But I wonder if Atleti would get more than that, and that is a question that Atleti have to answer for themselves. I'm sorry for that sound, and we have to make sure Atleti don't. So let's see what will happen. But that's my preview, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's preview. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if it's on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Pish.